Johnny, welcome. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
I,
How are you?
I'm doing well, doing well. So you are from Status, so we want to learn more about Status. We've heard a little bit about it in the last few episodes, but what's Status making possible? What are you doing there? How'd you get involved? Let's start there, and then we'll go down the rabbit hole.
Sure. Um, so yeah, Status is we call it like a multi-purpose communication tool. Basically, we're building a messenger, a crypto wallet, and a browser all combined into one, right? So the wallet's integrated with the messenger's integrated with the browser. So it's this really kind of like seamless Web3 experience, all on your mobile phone. And what it's making possible is really it's giving sovereignty back to the individual. We use peer-to-peer protocols, so the messenger is entirely private. It's secure, so your messages aren't your messages are your own. The crypto wallet, provides access to DeFi and various tokens. And the browser, you have access to various tools. Once again, DeFi products and all that stuff. So it's kind of like this integrated experience with blockchain and Ethereum, all on your phone, all in your pocket. So yeah, it's super exciting.
And how did you get involved with Status?
Yeah, so I met Carl and Jared in 2017, just before the contribution period. I helped with some like content production. I was doing freelance at the time. They needed a bit of help with ahead of the token sale, and I produced a video. It went well. Carl, Jared, and I got along really well. And then shortly after that, they brought me on full time. They asked if I wanted to do some more marketing, work with them, and I jumped at the opportunity. So yeah.
And so you've got a marketing background. Why are you passionate about this Web3 space, Status in particular?
Yeah, I mean, my background is I don't have like a crypto background. Like a lot of people in the space, I was working at agencies, marketing agencies with big clients, like Nike, Google, Samsung, big corporate companies. And when I met Carl and Jared, they sent me a bunch of intro material, kind of like to onboard me and help me produce the content for the token sale. And like a lot of people, I just went down the rabbit hole. Like they sent me a blog post and I went into YouTube and then I did this and I did that. And I just, for days was just like researching it, mostly for the project, but, for my own personal interest. I just loved it. And, like the deeper you get into it and then the more you learn about Status as a product, the more, or me personally, I think that we can genuinely like have a social impact. We can change the way things are. We can shake things up. For me specifically, I like the idea of private messaging is just, it's so important. Often, people ask the question, like, is privacy really that important? I had the conversation, like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I've got nothing to hide. So why is privacy that important? And the more you learn, the more you read, and the more you like understand how like unprivate, if that's even a word, like, how much of your data and how much of your information is available and being used, the more you realize that, these tools are very, very important. So yeah, I really want to promote Status and push it out there and introduce it to people so they can, use it.
So it seems like the first place that Status is starting to make a mark is in growing access to some of the DeFi tools that are out there. And so why is it so important to make these tools broadly accessible?
Yeah, I think, these tools, like the technology itself, not only DeFi, but the tools have the ability to, remove third parties, get rid of, rent-seeking intermediaries, and genuinely return autonomy back to the individual. And that goes for everything, once again, not just DeFi. DeFi it's like one of the first and like very practical use cases of this technology. So, we're starting to see, you can earn 8% in the DAI savings rate, for example. That's amazing. A lot of people don't know that, or they're intimidated by blockchain technology or crypto or whatever it is, when it's actually quite simple to use. So with Status, I think like Status as an onboarding into these DeFi products is a great first step, right? So Status, once again, we have the messenger, and it looks just like any other messenger. You've got private chats, you've got public channels, you're literally, the interface is very similar. So it's kind of like a familiar first step. And then from there, we can introduce people to DeFi and to, products like the DAI savings rate. And once again, it's really just to, return autonomy to the individual. Yeah.
And so that's kind of where I got pretty excited about Status. Is so much of the tools that we're seeing coming out of the blockchain space, they're not, human scale is not the right word, but they're not designed for humans. I need to walk my dad through how to set up the wallet and how to transfer stuff. And what you're all doing is it's all mobile, it's all integrated. It looks like the tools that we're already innately familiar with. So can you talk a bit more about Status's position of bringing kind of blockchain to mobile?
Sure. I mean, yeah, there's all these stats around, mobile adoptions, and then like 80% of the internet, or well, I've got one written down actually, 80% of the internet users are on a smartphone, for example. There's all these stats, right? So, and when Carl and Jared wrote the white paper and really started introducing people to the idea of Status, I think one of the taglines was the mass adoption of Ethereum. And to genuinely achieve that, you have to go where people are, right? You have to make it accessible. You have to make the blockchain accessible to them. And by doing that, or to achieve that, we would have to make it easily available on a mobile phone. And so it kind of goes back to my previous response is, creating experiences, user experiences that are familiar to Web 2, that will help people become, a bit more comfortable with the technology. And I think like a messenger is one of the areas we can really do that. Once again, like if you install Status, join a public channel, you'll see people sending messages, receiving messages, chatting with stickers and, emojis and all that stuff. And it provides a first, it's a bit of a comfortable experience. And then from there, like I was saying before, you can introduce the idea of crypto, and then, maybe you can send them some tokens for them to play around with, various DeFi products, or, Decentraland or games or stuff like that. And I think, yeah, just making sure that like the user experience is accessible. And, because so many people are familiar or just used to using these products on their phones, that's what we're really trying to achieve. Yeah, and it goes one step further, really. Like, this technology, there's scalability concerns. There's like bandwidth consumption concerns on a phone. So we've got a lot of work at like the low level protocol layer to make it more accessible on a phone, right? So we've got an F2 team called Nimbus, which is working to bring Ethereum to resource restricted devices, aka mobile phones, and also a team called VAC that's working on like a new messaging protocol. So your battery doesn't die in 10 minutes when you're using Status.
And so we started the conversation. You said you didn't come to this world from tech. I didn't either. So what are some of the projects, some of the applications that you like using, that you're excited about, that are currently hosted on Status?
Yeah. Once again, like a lot of the DeFi products, for example, when you read about them or you hear about them, you kind of become intimidated because, I don't know how to send transactions, or, you don't have ETH for gas. Like, what is gas? But when you actually start to use them, it's pretty simple. So, I mean, for me, like I had an aha moment when I locked some DAI into the Oasis Safe platform. That one's super cool. If you have some DAI and some ETH in your wallet, you can start earning 8% just by locking some DAI into the DAI savings rate. Super excited about that one. That one's really cool. And it takes about 2 minutes to do. Compound is another really cool one. You can just start earning interest on your crypto just by putting it into Compound. And once again, these tools are pretty simple to use. You just need to do it, or you need a little bit of like maybe an initial help. What else? Like Uniswap, for example, the UX there just for token swapping is so simple. You can just go on your phone in Status, open up DeFi, open up Uniswap, connect your phone, put in the token you want to trade, and then hit confirm. And like literally that's it. Another cool one, Zerion's pretty cool. Just accessing all the various different DeFi products into one in one interface. I think the UX is getting a lot better from some of these products, so that's exciting to see. Yeah.
So in an alternate universe where I am a coding wizard, let's say I create some awesome tool and I want it to be hosted on Status, how do I go about approaching you all?
So yeah, we have a product called dApps. It's dap.ps, and it's kind of our decentralized version or response to the app or the Play Store. And you know, any Web3 product, any dApp can go and list their own product there. And it's pretty cool. It basically has this bonded curve, and it uses SNT for a token curated registry, where a new dApp, if you've got a dApp, you can go to the website, you can register it, you can stake some SNT, so you'll appear higher up on the list. But it's interesting, the more SNT that you stake, the easier or cheaper it is for the community to downvote you with SNT. So it's kind of, it creates this gamification. So, you don't want to stake too much SNT, so then everyone can like downvote you easily, but you don't want to, you want to stake some SNT so you appear higher up on the list. And we've seen some pretty good adoption with that product so far. We've got, I think, something like 40 dApps staking, and like 5 new dApps each week. So yeah, it's pretty simple.
And so that gamification algorithm is to avoid any whale from coming in and putting out an app, upvoting it to all get out, and then having it organically come back down.
Exactly. Play Store and App Store and a lot of these, centralized services, they're pay to play. So the more you pay, the more people are going to see your application. And just like with this, like in all this technology, we want to remove centralized figures. We want to remove that ability, and curate content based on what the community likes, not what one centralized third party likes.
And it also strikes me like every time any of my friends have got an app placed on an app store, I go in, give it a 5-star review, rave about it, whether I've used it or not. Same with Yelp, because I don't have any skin in the game. I don't need to stake anything that matters to me. Where in your case, you're making sure there's skin in the game, so there's some validity around the reviews.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And just like a lot of the products in this industry, like there's some UX issues to work out, and we're kind of learning as we go. But so far, we've seen a really good adoption of the tool, and it's working. It's great.
Excellent. So I want us to shift a bit here. Another reason why I was really excited and drawn to Status is because of the organization culture, the organizational design, and given some conversations I was having yesterday with some clients who are challenged by the remote work, I want to learn more about how your Status team is working, because you're completely distributed. You're working across time zones, geographies, cultures. How does this work?
Yeah. Once again, Status is like an experiment in organizational structure as well, but it's working. And like every company, we've got things that we're trying to overcome or we're kind of working through, and it's a constant work in progress. But so for me personally, and the marketing team, we do everything asynchronously. So we've got our communication channels, and I'll drop some notes in there if I need support with something, and someone will pick it up when they come online. And we have our weekly syncs. It's basically our stand up where we walk through our work in progress, what we're going to be doing next week, and then any kind of like blockers. And we'll kind of like work through issues on that call. And then like the rest of the time, it's kind of uninterrupted work. I find myself personally, I'm much more productive because I can work at my own time. I don't have, someone coming over to my desk to chat about this, that, and the other. And it kind of frees you up to work on your own schedule. And I find when you are working, when you want to work and when you're focused, you're just more productive. You're more focused. You're getting better work done. And yeah.
And are you working from home? Do you go to some WeWork type setting?
Yep. So I've got a co-working space. It's great. I've actually got a space with a few friends who are in a similar situation to me, and it's quiet and it's amazing. It's great. I will say, sometimes, like, especially for marketing, oftentimes we do a lot of like creative brainstorming or just, planning out the quarters ahead. So we do try and get together once a quarter. The marketing team, that is. Like, for example, some of the team came to New York last month and we had a conference here, so it worked out perfectly. There's an NFT conference, which we all attended. One of our team members, Graham, was speaking on stage, so we all went to support him and network, but then also use the time to map out Q2 and Q3. And sometimes like you just can't beat that face-to-face time. So once a quarter, if we can do that, it works out well.
That's awesome. So what have been some of the unexpected results of having a distributed team?
I think, well, an expected result is global coverage, right? We're an open source community, like our communication channels, Status, and we also use Discord are open to the public. And there's always someone online. I'm in New York. Jinho, one of our team members, is in South Korea, in Seoul. So, I'm online, he's online, people in Europe, they're online answering questions, talking to the community members. That's great. An unexpected result, as I kind of mentioned this before, is just higher productivity. Once again, like you work when you want to work and when you're focused, and the output, in my opinion, is just higher quality work. And yeah, I think it's been great.
And the higher quality work, that's really evident in what you guys are putting out there. I mean, I haven't come across the tool as user-friendly and as sophisticated as what I see here. I'm not a technical person, but I've been able to use and leverage some of these dApps, and I'm like, even I can do it. It's awesome. So you talked about getting together to do some strategic planning. What do you guys have planned for the upcoming months ahead?
Yeah, so last month we actually launched V1 of our application, which was super exciting. We'd been in alpha and beta for over 2 years, so V1 was like a big moment for us. There were and still are like some slight scalability issues with the messaging protocol. We use Whisper, and so we've got a team working on an upgrade to that. And so I guess V1, we wanted to do a bit of a soft launch, if you will. Not driving too much traffic to it because we could, we would have some issues. But with the upgrade, now we get to market it a bit more and really go after user acquisition. So that's kind of the focus for the rest of the year is get users into the product. Yeah, we've got a few areas we're focusing on. A lot of brand campaigns, brand work. Status is it's a private communication tool, private messenger. We really want people to understand how private it really is, and what are the benefits to the end user. Retaining your data, making sure no one can see your messages, things like that. So look for a lot of work around that. A lot of feature campaigns, right? So once again, the dApp browser is a really important feature to us, and it opens up this world to all of these DeFi products, for example. So we've got a lot of content going out with in partnership, a lot of DeFi tools, showcasing what you can do in Status and how simple it actually is. So that's really exciting. Another interesting feature is the Status sticker market. Once again, it just really gives us feature parity with a lot of the other major tools like WhatsApp or Telegram or something like that. And so we're going to work with the art and design community and the NFT enthusiasts to really create some fun, exciting, engaging sticker packs. That's a really cool feature too, because all the stickers that designers create, they get 100% of the profit. As a decentralized product, they can upload their stickers, sell them to the community, and retain all the funds. So that's cool. So another area of focus for us is, in a couple months, we're going to really try and get outside of the crypto sphere, if you will. A lot of the conversation happens on crypto Twitter or Reddit or at these events, and it can be a bit of an echo chamber. So we want to get outside of that a little bit. So we've got some interesting campaigns planned with, personal finance bloggers, just to introduce Status and the suite of DeFi to people outside of the crypto space. And then also we're going to run some local campaigns in emerging markets. So I'm really excited for that. Getting into places where these privacy tools and censorship resistant messengers are really needed. So yeah, some pilot campaigns in developing countries.
You guys got some busy few months ahead of you, man. Jeez. So I've always been of the mind that, folks in our position, kind of the human side of the organization, are so vital to the mass adoption of crypto, because you can build awesome tools, but if we can't talk about it and onboard less tech savvy folks, then we're just building awesome toolboxes and not allowing people to have the hands for them. So what do you say to the average person who's not tech savvy about kind of coming on to beginning to use some of these Web3 tools?
Sure. I think, and I'm not like, obviously I'm a bit biased, but I do think status, once again, is like a really good first step into crypto, into blockchain, into Web3. First and foremost, like I was saying before, like the messenger, it has this form factor with tools that we all use on a daily basis. There are some nuances in there, of course, but generally speaking, when you get your account set up, you're just messaging your friends or your family or communities just like you would anywhere else. So just don't be intimidated by that. And I think like the DeFi products, while they seem complex from an outsider, you just need a little bit of ETH, some tokens in your wallet, and just start to play with it. Obviously, nothing is risk free, so use small amounts. And status specifically, our community, our team, someone's always there to like help you out if you have questions. So yeah, I would say unbiasedly install status and jump into a public channel. Will help you out.
Completely objective answer. So for those interested in learning more about status, how you guys work, who you are, what you're doing, where should they go? Where can they find out more information?
Yeah, go to our website, which is status.im. You can learn more about our product features, like the feature benefits, all that. But then you'll have links to the app in the Play Store. You can install status on your phone, set up an account. It's super simple. And then I would say jump into the public channel, hashtag status. And yeah, once again, like our team's there, our community members are there, our ambassadors are there, community managers, anyone. If you've got questions, just feel free. And whether technical question or not, our developers are in there, so they'll help you out. And yeah.
Awesome. Before we let you go, get back to your important work, Johnny, last words, calls to action.
Go download status, iOS and Android. Check it out.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time and all the important work you and the team are doing, man. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate it.